Every adult girl in the village is sent into the cave to marry the god, but strangely, before entering the cave, every girl must be inspected by the elders and their eyes must be blindfolded before entering. What's even stranger is that very few girls who marry the god are able to bear children. Even those who succeed are so weak that they don't survive for more than half a year. So every time the god chooses a wife, families with daughters in the village would flee. However, I chose to go against the tide and volunteered to be the god's wife. When I told the village chief my decision, he refused immediately because my sister had gone last year. And this year it wasn't my turn, but I didn't give up and I lied, claiming I had a fertility-friendly body and if chosen, I would surely bear the god's child, bringing blessings to the village. Hearing this, the village chief made an exception and agreed. The reason I wanted to marry the god was because my sister had gone into the cave last year and never returned. I had to take the risk to uncover the secret of this cave the next day. My stepmother mysteriously came to give me instructions on the rules for consummating the marriage with the god. She emphasized that not a single step could be wrong otherwise. My life would be in danger, but what she didn't expect was that I wasn't afraid at all, and I told her that I had consulted a master who assured me my body was perfect for bearing the god's child. My stepmother should have been happy, but she suddenly felt uneasy. An ominous premonition arose in her mind, but soon she suppressed her feelings. After all, the secret of the cave had remained undiscovered for so many years, so she led me to bathe and change clothes to wash away all earthly impurities so that I would be more likely to gain the god's favor. After the bath, my stepmother had me inspected by others because only those with a perfect body could serve the god the next day. I arrived at the village shrine wearing simple clothes. As soon as the elders saw my pure and elegant appearance, they couldn't help but lust after me. The village chief immediately ordered me to change into ceremonial attire. I was a bit surprised. It was hard to accept changing clothes in front of so many people, but my stepmother said these people were here to inspect me. If I wanted to serve the god, I had to pass this test to uncover the truth. I had no choice but to let my stepmother publicly undress me like a puppet, seeing the elders around me eyeing me like wolves. I immediately realized that the secret of the cave had to be related to the elders. After the inspection, the elders dressed me in ceremonial clothes and the village chief immediately ordered us to head up the mountain to marry the god. The wedding procession set off in grand fashion. When we reached the foot of the mountain, the steep slope required us to walk on foot. A strange atmosphere began to fill my mind. After climbing up the mountain, I intentionally stumbled and scraped my palm. The village chief seemed to sense something was wrong, and he quickly covered my eyes with a red cloth. But what he didn't know was that I had left a trail of blood behind me to mark my path for my reinforcements. Not long after, we arrived at the mysterious cave. The village chief stopped and asked me once again if I was sure I wanted to enter. I replied, I had heard the god was tall and handsome and I couldn't wait any longer. My words dispelled everyone's doubts. The village chief seriously instructed me that this difficult task was entrusted to me. I promised I would do my best and return alive, carrying the god's child to bring blessings to the village once again. The village chief nodded in satisfaction. Then he walked up to me and told me that when serving the god, I had to be diligent. He then told me to enter the cave alone because no one else besides the god's wife was allowed inside the village chief, and the villagers knelt down to celebrate the god's marriage. When I entered the cave, I felt like the secret was right in front of me. I couldn't wait to take off the red cloth, but what I saw before me completely shocked me.